limited harvest, and all states around Connecticut and the Northeast that have bears have a bear harvest.
That bear is sedated and a few hours later would be released. There it is, into the woods. The DEEP says the bear population here in Connecticut has more than doubled in the last 20 years to roughly 1,000. So what should we do, if anything, to deal with bears that appear to be showing up more and more in our backyards and in our neighborhoods? NBC Connecticut's Kerri-Lee Mayland and Kevin Nathan went searching for answers.
It's a serious public safety issue, and it needs to be taken seriously.
To understand the potential threat bears may pose, DEP wildlife biologist Jason Hawley has studied them for years.
We're going to one particular den of one of our collared females.
Hawley takes us to a bear den in Burlington, only a football field away from a busy road.
Hikers could walk within 10 feet of this den and the bear would probably just stay here, and the hikers would never even know the bear was here.
Hawley says for every one bear we see, they spot us 10 times.
He says bears will call dens like this one home from mid-November until April. They like their privacy with thick brush and a nearby tree if they need to escape.
There's actually some bear fur right on there. People would be pretty surprised to see how closely these animals are living with them.
Hawley recognizes that bears are a natural part of our ecosystem, but with the population growing, they want to teach people how to coexist with bears.
It's a constant struggle for us. We deal with a lot of conflicts between humans and bears, so that's where the education comes in.
To learn more about bears' behavior, the DEP traps bears like this one.
Hawley showed us how they sedate the animal.
Probably feels like a bee sting.
He says it takes between 3 to 15 minutes for a bear to fall asleep.
Now we're just going to kind of give them a general health checkup.
Each bear gets 2 tags with their own number. This helps keep track of the bears that are showing aggression.
We kind of keep a rap sheet on bears. It kind of helps us monitor.
Hawley says his DEP office fields roughly 8,000 to 10,000 calls a year for bear sightings.
Bears will become so habituated and food conditioned where they're breaking into people's houses, becoming bold and aggressive towards people, which is obviously a public safety issue. It's a situation that's becoming worse, so it's becoming more of a possibility that something happens where a bear severely injures or kills a human.
Annie Hornish does not view bears as such a threat. She is the Connecticut State Director for the Humane Society of the United States.
That is an exceedingly rare event that people are attacked by black bears.
Hawley says even with a harvest, the bear population would still grow in Connecticut, as it is in nearby states that have a harvest, like Maine and Massachusetts.
But Hornish says Connecticut voters overwhelmingly support humane, proactive solutions to these problems. She says the DEP has other motives.
Build a fear of bears in the general public in order to promote a trophy hunt.
Trophy hunting is pretty rare, especially when you're talking about bears, and it's a renewable natural resource.
Where Hornish and Hawley generally agree is that educating the public is key, and aversive training can teach bears to stay away.
They use modified paintball guns and release the bear we met.
It looks cruel, it sounds cruel, but it's not. We don't injure the bears. If we can teach that bear that humans equal pain or a negative experience, that might end up saving that bear's life or stop it from becoming a problem bear.
But should we be concerned over protecting people from bears?
That is my fear, that someone could be severely injured or killed by a bear, and I think we need to act appropriately and manage the population through a harvest before something like that happens.
Hunting is only going to create a cycle of killing, because once they start, it's going to be a cycle of constant killing that doesn't keep the people safer.
And Kerri-Lee and Kevin go on to report, if you do encounter a bear, here are some tips from the DEEP. Slowly back away, clap your hands, wave your arms, make some noise so that the bear knows you're there. You don't want to surprise it, and never, ever approach a bear.